There's a lot that you probably don't know about the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, but somehow it's found itself in a lot of references in pop culture and otherwise. Considered one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, this historical site is a gateway to many buried secrets and mysteries of civilizations before us. While some historians and archaeologists still wonder if they existed, ancient Greek and Roman writers describe them as some of the most stunning pastures of land in the city of Babylon, which is now present-day Iraq. But now, ever since Stephanie Dale has come one step closer to finding the truth about these gardens, it seems like we're closer to getting all of our answers. Join us as we unravel recent discoveries made by scientists and reveal the mysteries of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Now, Babylon was really important in ancient times for a lot of reasons. It was a powerful city that led two big empires. The first empire, under King Hammurabi, united the region and created the early Hammurabi Code of Laws. And the second empire, ruled partly by Nebuchadnezzar II, also became very powerful and had great art and culture. The city showcased military strength, controlling trade routes and influencing neighboring regions. Babylonians were known for their scientific achievements, such as advancements in mathematics and astronomy, leading to the development of the sexagesimal system still used today. The city's architectural marvels like ziggurats and the Ishtar Gate added to its cultural richness. And this is precisely why the existence of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon remains a captivating historical mystery. What we do know is that there's no definitive archaeological proof for these gardens in present-day Iraq, and Babylonian texts don't mention them either. Our understanding relies on descriptions from Greek and Roman writers who lived centuries after the gardens were said to exist, raising concerns about the accuracy of these vivid accounts. While some people believe in the existence of certain ancient structures based on old descriptions, archaeological discoveries in Babylon, and alternative locations like Nineveh, some skeptics argue that there isn't enough solid evidence and that later accounts might be exaggerated. This ongoing debate makes the ancient mystery even more interesting and complex. The gardens were believed to be like a series of plant-filled terraces, but to this day, no one knows where they are. The Hanging Gardens got their name from the Greek word kremastos, which means overhanging. This refers to trees planted on a raised structure like a terrace, not exactly what we think of as hanging today. Legend has it that King Nebuchadnezzar II, who ruled Babylon around 500 BC, built the gardens for his wife, Queen Amytis. She missed the green landscapes of her homeland, so he created these gardens next to a magnificent palace called the Marvel of Mankind. Some stories also suggest that the legendary Queen Semiramis built the gardens. But all of this is nothing but speculation. The thing is, there are no ancient Babylonian writings that mention the Hanging Gardens, and no solid proof has been found in Babylon itself. There are three main theories about this fascinating place. First, the gardens might be purely mythical, existing only in the descriptions from ancient Greek and Roman texts as an idealized Eastern garden. Secondly, even if they did exist in Babylon, they could have been destroyed around the 1st century AD, which explains why there's not much proof of their existence anymore. And third, some believe the legend might actually refer to a well-documented garden built by the Assyrian king Sennacherib in Nineveh, near modern-day Mosul. As we already mentioned earlier, ancient Greek and Roman writings describe the Hanging Gardens of Babylon in great detail. In the dry and hot land of ancient Babylon, the gardens were like a paradise. Imagine lush plants flowing down 75-foot-high terraces, creating a waterfall effect. The garden was full of exotic plants, herbs, and flowers that not only looked beautiful but also smelled amazing. Not only that, but statues and tall stone columns also added to the grandeur of this botanical haven. Now we know that around the 6th century BC, King Nebuchadnezzar II of Babylon was said to have built the Hanging Gardens as a special gift for his wife, Amytis. This romantic gesture was a result of the fact that Amytis missed the lush landscapes of her homeland in Media, which is northwestern Iran today. While the architecture of the gardens seems complex, it appears a lot of thought went into the maintenance of this place. To bring life to the arid area, it seems like a solid, foolproof irrigation system was probably used. Scientists believe that pumps, water wheels, and cisterns were employed to lift and transport water from the nearby Euphrates River to the top of the gardens, making it possible for the desert to be able to grow plants. The stories about the Hanging Gardens come from Greek and Roman sources, but these accounts were written many years after the gardens were said to have been destroyed. It's almost as if no one wrote about it or saw it. In the early 1900s, a group of German archaeologists spent 20 years looking for signs of the gardens without success. The absence of any physical proof has led some people to doubt whether the legendary gardens in the desert were real or just a historical mirage. Dr. Stephanie Daly from Oxford University suggests that evidence supporting the existence of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon has been found. In her book, The Mystery of the Hanging Garden of Babylon, An Elusive World Wonder Traced, she argues that the absence of gardens in Babylon is because the gardens might not have been built there in the first place, challenging the traditional belief about their location. Stephanie offers a whole new perspective on the legend of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Drawing on her expertise in Babylonian language and history, Daly investigated existing evidence, particularly focusing on deciphering an ancient text and its link to a sculpture in the British Museum. The book challenges traditional beliefs by proposing a new location and builder for the gardens, diverging from the commonly held view that King Nebuchadnezzar II built them in Babylon. By offering vivid descriptions and fresh theories, Daly's work provides new insight to the gardens, contributing to the ongoing debate and historical intrigue surrounding their existence and location. After nearly 20 years of research and studying ancient texts, Dr. Stephanie Daly's research suggests that the Hanging Gardens were not built in Babylon as commonly believed. Instead, she proposes that they were constructed around 300 miles north in Nineveh, the capital of the Assyrian Empire. According to her findings, it was the Assyrian king Sennacherib, not Nebuchadnezzar II, who built the gardens in the early 7th century BC. According to Oxford University, Dr. Stephanie Daly, an expert in ancient Mesopotamian languages, discovered evidence in recently translated texts of King Sennacherib. These texts describe Sennacherib's impressive palace and mention a remarkable invention, a bronze water-raising screw. This device, similar to Archimedes' screw but developed 4 centuries earlier, could have been used to water the gardens. Not only that, but the recent excavations near Nineveh, close to present-day Mosul in Iraq, have revealed signs of a substantial aqueduct system too. The inscriptions found mention King Sennacherib directing a watercourse to the vicinity of Nineveh from the mountains. Bas reliefs from the royal palace show a thriving garden irrigated by an aqueduct. In contrast to the flat terrain around Babylon, the rougher landscape near the Assyrian capital would have presented fewer challenges for an ancient civilization in raising water to the gardens, supporting the idea that the Hanging Gardens might have been located in Nineveh. Dr. Stephanie Daly suggests that the confusion about the Hanging Gardens' location may stem from the Assyrians conquering Babylon in 689 BC. After the conquest, Nineveh was sometimes called the New Babylon, and Sennacherib even renamed its city gates to match Babylon's entrances. Daly's findings challenge the idea that the gardens were a mere historical mirage. Instead, she proposes they should be called the Hanging Gardens of Nineveh, considering the evidence she has uncovered about their possible location. King Sennacherib's garden in Nineveh was renowned for its beauty, standing out as a year-round oasis amid the dry summer landscape. The garden was not only visually stunning, but also featured remarkable water engineering to keep it flourishing. The thing is, Assyrian kings had a tradition of building impressive gardens, with King Ashurnasirpal II creating canals and planting various trees, including fruit trees, pines, cypresses, junipers, almonds, dates, ebony, rosewood, olive, oak, tamarisk, walnut, terebinth, ash, fir, pomegranate, pear, quince, fig, and grapes. A sculptured wall panel from the time of Assurbanipal, depicting the mature garden, is housed in the British Museum. It aligns with features mentioned by classical authors. Sennacherib's palace, mentioned in historical records, used massive limestone blocks for flood defenses, and parts of it were excavated in the mid-19th century. However, the exact location of the garden within the palace complex remains uncertain, partly due to the recent military use of the area, which is yet another hurdle for archaeologists to overcome during the excavation of the gardens. Now, since we already talked a little about the supposed irrigation systems of the gardens, let's talk about how maintaining such a garden requires an advanced water supply for Nineveh. The irrigation system involved canals extending over 50 kilometers into the mountains, and Sennacherib took pride in the technological advancements, detailing them in inscriptions. He also mentioned automatic sluice gates at the headwaters of Bavion, and an impressive aqueduct at Jerwan, constructed with over 2 million stones, and featuring stone arches and waterproof cement. The inscriptions on the aqueduct highlight the king's engineering achievements. But the fact remains, even though future studies could give us more information, we might not find out where the Hanging Gardens of Babylon really were for a long time. So, what do you think? Are these gardens just another page from Roman lore? Or will archaeologists finally uncover the truth soon? Let us know in the comments section below, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.